What is maker mindset? Does anyone know what is maker mindset? Practice, yeah. And experiment, yeah. But of course, the first one is we believe, we are confident that we can do it. And then the second point, which you haven't mentioned yet, is empathize. So at the end, to do this, we also, as ourselves, need to be positive. Don't be pessimistic in, we as a maker, we are the one who want to make changes. So design thinking is a framework that can help you to brainstorm or come up with some solutions for wicked problems. For example, it needs to actually fulfill 3 criteria to actually make it quite successful. The first criteria is it needs to be human-centered, so which is desirable, people want it. The second criteria is feasibility. And then the third criteria is it needs to be commercially viable. And then in design thinking, it actually has 5 steps to help you go through the process. The first step is empathize, and which is you need to understand, go to talk to your user, the target user, understand their needs and their pain point. And the second step is to define the problem, narrow it down. Maybe when you talk to the person, he will give you many information. And now at this step, you need to categorize and summarize it. Today we have a theme actually. Imagine what will happen in 2047. These futures, it depends on your imagination. Your imagination is the limit. You can base on some existing technology or some existing news or trends to speculate what is possibly happen in 2047, and then what kind of products or even service you can find. In today's design challenge, empathize, it's actually you try to empathize the future self. You try to imagine, talk to yourself in 2047, and then ask him or ask her, what do you feel about being in that time? So to do that, you will first read different newspaper, or find any piece of news or some technology discovery that catch your attention. And then you need to explain to your future self why it catch your attention. And then what emotion brings up to you.
We're starting to go into the wireless charging stuff. I think that's the kind of stuff they had.
In a few more decades, it can actually become an actual AI and then link to a human brain. That can make us maybe perhaps smarter and more efficient.
And the third step is to brainstorm many ideas as much as possible. Crazy ideas, stupid ideas, brilliant ideas. So in ideation, usually there are different ways to do ideation. For example, like you can imagine when you have unlimited resources. Another way is to combine different ordinary elements. And then this one is what we are going to do today, is imagine the future. And then the next step is very important, is to bring the idea into a tangible prototype. For example, there are different ways of doing a prototype. So your prototype can be something that will become a physical object, or it is a digital thing, or it is a transformation of the environment, of a space, or it is a new service. So different type of ideas will have different ways to do a prototype. For example, this one is for tangible objects. You're really making a tangible, even like maybe a proof of concept prototype out of cardboard or existing materials around you. And then if your idea is more on service, right? So surface is hard to prototype, but you can also make a storyboard or do a role play. So now we have 30 minutes for making the first prototype. And then you will go through testing. Actually, this process is a cycle. It's not a completely linear process. So you go through a cycle. Sometimes after doing a test, you will going back to, oh, actually I misunderstand, the user's needs. Going back. Besides understanding what design thinking is and how much you can get out of this workshop, is how you can apply design thinking into your daily work, working or your daily life.